NSString. We're going to start looking at NSString in great detail. It's used to create strings and work with strings, and they are very important no matter what you do. So NSString, that's data type, and it's always string prefixed with NS. That's the way it is in Objective-C. And then you have a star myString equal to sign and at, and within two double quotes, hello. So that's one way to create a string and initialize it on the same line. Now next line, you see, if I was to do this, I am declaring a variable, my string of an string type, and on the second line I'm assigning it a value, a static value. Now on the third line, what I'm doing here is another way, showing you another way. You have NSString, my string 2 it's called, and then you call NSString alloc, and surrounded by brackets, and then another bracket, and it ends over there, and you call another method init with format colon, and you have the at, and then within double quotes you have a formatted string. Now we've gone through this before when I was talking about NSLog. %d is, you want to replace it with something. %d means an integer, and I've declared an integer right there, and I put a comma and the name of that integer variable. So %d is going to be replaced by at runtime when this line created, and my string 2 will create, say, hello 1. So that's the third way of creating a string and using a format to generate a string, and it's used quite often. So I'm going to run this program, and you see we are at line 32. My string is at this point hello, and my string 2 doesn't exist any yet. I'm going to step over it, and as soon as I do, it says hello 1. So %d was replaced by contents of the variable called age, which is 1. So we have hello 1. Now there are a number of other ways we're going to look at and play with strings. Now let's play with the string a little bit and see different methods and what we can do. Some of the common operations that you do on strings are that you want to convert it to uppercase, lowercase, substring. You want to find out how long it is if two strings are equal, things like that. Now when you want to modify, upfront I'll inform you that when you want to modify a string, you want to use another version of string which is called NSMutable string. But let's look at what's going on with string anyway. First of all, on line 30 I have a line, my string equal to, on the concrete instance of the string class my string, I'm calling a method uppercase string, and they'll convert it doing this much, and you know how we enclose them in brackets and all that stuff, all that, what's going on here. And to capture the returning value of it, which will be the uppercase string, we have assigned it to the myString variable on the left side of the equality operator. So that's what's going on over here. Convert myString to uppercase string and assign it to myString. I'm going to type this again and talk about a few things. First of all, you will have this word thrown at you a lot, saying, especially when by the exception handler, saying you must use the concrete instance of this class. And a string is a class. Now this, I've been calling it a variable with a star is the pointer, but the myString is also the concrete instance of a string class. So having cleared that, I am going to type myString equal to left bracket, right bracket, semicolon, move left in between the brackets and type the concrete. You need a concrete instance of the string class here, which will be my string again. And I am going to hold Control down and press space on my Mac. That'll pop up a list of options, methods that are available in this context. The concrete instance of my string has the following thing. One of them is lowercase, right? If I type U, it'll filter them, uppercase string. So there it is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type an nslog, and I'm going to type my spit it out to the log and run it. Here you go. We have a concrete instance of my string, a string class instantiated called my string right here. My string 000 is nil, and now it was assigned a value of hello there. I'm on line 30. Watch this one. You see how it got converted to uppercase? Now if it'll write the uppercase hello to the log. I'm going to make a change here, and which is I'm going to take out this one and show you what happens. Now at this point, hello is capitalized, it's not uppercase. I'm going to step over it. Still nothing happened here because I did not capture the returning value from this. What's going on line 30? I did not capture. I need to assign it back to my string. So that's the importance of what I did here. The returning result of this is the uppercase, and I'm capturing it in my string, back into my string. I could use another concrete instance of the string class as well, but I did not do that. Now same thing, I'm gonna just show you that some other interesting methods here. I'm gonna copy and paste it in here, delete that, and I am going to move in here, space and Control V, and go all the way up to the top. See, there are all these methods, and there are a lot of them. See, I'm going to use this mouse to scroll all the way up. There are a lot of them. Now some of them are good, you know, like you want to find out what's present at a certain index. What's the length? Let's try it. Length. Here's the length. Now of course you can't this returning type of that would be an integer, so you need an integer type, not my string. NSU, NS unsigned integer. So that's what's going on. And let's run it and see what it does. My length is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now finding out what's present at the fourth location and all that stuff is good, or there are functions in it. For example, let's try is equal. Yeah, that's another one. Let's see that. In a minute we'll see, you know, what does is equal does. Init with format, of course you want to initialize them. Let's see if there's an append. You see there's no append. So there's an other I'm going to get rid of this. There's another class. If you want to modify your string, there's another one called NSMutable string. My string2, and again left bracket, right bracket, semicolon, and you have, I think you don't call the concrete instance of the class, you use the name of the class this time. And that's a very important concept anyway. A concrete instance, using a concrete instance here, and the name of the class here. Alrighty, I just typed S, and that also opened up the code completion, helping me. String with string. So if you have a non-mutable string, you can use that to create a mutable string, as I'm going to do. I'm going to make my string2 from my string. Now I have a mutable string, and I can do several things on it. And of course, I want to capture the results of it, so I'm going to put it here on the left side of the equality operator, and then type NSMutable string, and then say append. If you go down, you're going to have to search for it. String with capacity. You see, you can initialize a string with a certain capacity. If you're building like an HTML concatenation or string, or you want to concat or replace strings in the middle, then NSMutable is a good one. String, you see there are strings with the content of files, string with the content of URL. If you want to call a URL and get the results of the web page loaded, all these things. String with CS string, string with format we looked at earlier, and a string had the same method. I made a mistake. This time we're going to use the concrete instance of my string2. You see now append string. So if you have, I'm going to just use my string here. So I'm going to have hello hello, hopefully by then. Now there is an error here. Let's look at it, saying, you see, that's the advantage of it. You don't need that, like what we had to do with the string class equality operator. You just need to call an instance, concrete instance, call the method, and it'll be appended. Let's see if it does that. So I'm going to step over here. At this point, my string2 is okay. You see, you can't see it. That's another thing with my mutable NSMutable string that I wanted to talk to you about. You can see it in the debugger, so a little bit difficult to debug, but I think that if you click here and say print description, it prints it out over here. So that's a very important thing. You're not going to find it in books. In debugger string you can see, NSMutable string you cannot see. You see the address of it. You gotta hover over it and click print description, and then you see it here. Now I'm going to step over it and do the same thing again. Hover over it, hover on this thing, on this, print description. Now you see it's hello hello. Hello got appended, and I didn't have to use my string2 equal thingy here. So that's when you are mutating strings, trying to change them in memory at runtime, you want to use the NSMutable string.